welcome to Flosstube number 20. I am Jo, Stitchy Cat Lady 26 on here on Instagram, and today is the 29th of September. It's Thursday. It's still quite bright outside, although it's been raining off and on. Rained quite heavily overnight. Hopefully it stays a bit brighter. As you can see, we've got Luna keeping us company today, even though, yeah, she's asleep. That's about normal for Luna. So September has been a really busy month. I had intended to record last Thursday, but I ended up working because I needed the day off on the Friday, and my colleague very kindly agreed to swap days, but it did mean I didn't record. So let's just get straight on with the whip, shall we? First one I've worked on, First one I've worked on was the Crystallise Sam from Lakeside Needlecraft, designed by Oxana Polyakova. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, I really don't have much clue. So I finished the Jasper. I made a good start on the Malachite, and overall I did over 1,500 stitches on this since the last video. Probably closer to 2,000 because I've not added them up properly, and I counted Malachite stitches separately to the Jasper stitches, and I'm not even sure I counted the back stitch at all. So still only 4 out of the 12 started. I'll get there, there's no great rush. It doesn't yet have a plan home. So that is using the called for DMC threads on a mottled grey grab bag fabric from Polstitches, which I believe is 32 count, which is unusual for me. I normally get 28, but I think I just went for 32 on the odd occasion, just for a change of pace. Okay, second piece I've worked on is Fairy of the Rainbow, designed by Joan Elliott for the Polstitches retreat in 2019. So she is beautiful. Those wings are just amazing. One of these days I will actually do the gold back stitch around them. So I basically worked in this area. I got these ribbons finished and mostly worked on this green area here. So that worked out to just over 1,600 stitches. A little bit of back stitch done, but really not much to talk about on that one. Like I say, she was Joan Elliott's design for the Polstitches retreat in 2019. And I bought the full kit, so I got the fabric, threads, metallics and beads all included. So it comes on this little card. The fabric is called Raindrops. It's 28 count Lagana, Brittany Lagana. Yeah, I just bought the full kit. So, but I do have a little bit more news on that to come later. Sorry, I feel like I'm rushing. Slow down a bit. Yeah, I've only got one more whip to show you, but I do have a lot of things to talk about. Black toe beans, so cute. Okay, now it looks a little bit messy, but you know what, I deal with it. I'm quite happy dealing with popped threads. So my third whip is Planet Dragons. So this is by the artist Rob Carlos, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I'm doing it with the called for DMC on a 20 count purple Ada. So I'm working on the sun. So you can see the dragon's head now. So I've basically finished this little bit. I've done quite a few bits along here, to the tune of over 3,000 stitches. I started this in Cardiff, the first full day of the retreat, and I will tell you more about that in a little bit, and about this little guy. So yeah, quite happy with that. My plan is to get all my threads parked in a row here, because these have been hanging around here for a while. Get all my threads parked on this row, and then put it away for something else for a little while, because I've already been working on it for nearly 2 weeks. I'm just beginning to feel like I want to change, but I want to get all of these down below that row, and then I'll just work straight across, or as far across as my frame will let me, because I do need to do a bit of the background on this edge as well. So that's the sun. Venus and Mercury are already complete. So once the sun is done, I'll be working on Earth. So I'm not necessarily going to try and do them in order, I'm just going to sort of do them where the stitches take me, but the way Venus is done, there's actually a gap waiting for the wing of the Earth Dragon, so I'll probably do that next. But I do need to do the background under the sun as well. So that's my planet dragons. There are a couple of hashtags with these, so I'll just pop them in. So I'm going to need that again in a little bit. That's actually all the whips I've worked on, which, you know, I'm not upset about that. It's over 6,000 stitches, well over 6,000 stitches, so I'm quite happy about that. I did have a couple of very small finishes, both of which have been gifted, so I'll pop a couple of little photos up of those. One was for part of my gift exchange at the retreat I went to, so that's the little keyring with the J in it, and one was a card, a thank you card for my friend who came to help with Ozzy's injections while I was away, so I'll pop those up as photos. Okay, oops, sorry. Right, so shall we talk about retreats? I'm gonna move these. Okay, so the retreat I attended was the Polstitches retreat in Cardiff. This has been postponed twice due to the global pandemic, shall we say. It took place in Cardiff on September the 17th and 18th. Weren't a huge number of people there, but do you know what? It was still a really good weekend. There were a couple of notable absences, Willie, Lena, Mary, but they would have all had to travel from abroad, and it's not the easiest thing to do these days. Although it was lovely to see Marita and Flo and some of the other ladies. I will be popping photos up of the tables. I think there were only about 18, 19 of us there, if that. But it was a really good atmosphere, it was really good fun. So I'll give them a little bit of detail, but I'm going to kind of go in time order, chronologically. So I'd arranged to meet up with my friend Sam, who I met at the 2019 retreat. She does have Flosstube, but she's not got many videos in it. Same name as her Instagram, which is What Sam Did Next. I'll pop that below. So she had found the hotel where the retreat was at was really, really expensive to stay in. So Sam found a nice little bed and breakfast just a few minutes up the road called Number 100. Again, I'll pop some photos in. It's a really nice place, really friendly people running it, and some of the best fireplaces. I love like the old style cast iron fireplaces. I wouldn't want to look after them, not with an actual fire in them, but as a decorative piece, I think they look brilliant. So there was a nice one in my room. There was a really nice one in the dining room. You know, not the cheapest B&B I've ever been in, but it was quality. It was a nice space, and we had use of the dining room lounge whenever we wanted it. So yeah, so Sam and I had booked rooms there, and so Sam came in by coach, I got down by train. Of course, this all happened on the Friday, which was the day that the new king was visiting Cardiff, so yeah, that was fun. So Sam's coach actually dropped her a little bit further away than it was originally supposed to. So by the time we actually arrived, or were due to arrive, within minutes of each other, So Sam had booked an Uber to pick her up and then come for me. So we got to the B&B at the same time. Literally as we walked in, everything was done with a code or the fob. As we walked in, I spotted Emma, who had been my giftee at the 2019 gift retreat for the friendship gift exchange. So she was in the corridor and she was there with her friend Lynn. So the four of us basically spent the entire weekend hanging out, telling stories, having a laugh. It was great. We ate at Wetherspoons a couple of nights. On the Sunday, we actually just ended up sitting in the lounge dining room at the B&B stitching, chatting. It was really good fun, actually. The whole weekend spent with these two ladies was really fabulous. Really enjoyed it. So like I say, not a lot of people at the retreat, but it was good fun. Jo Critchley, who owns Polstitches and organised the retreat, she did a class on designing our own design. And of course, I don't have it in hand. I'll take that out, and as soon as I find it, I'll put a photo up if I can find it. We also had a chocolate challenge. Dairy Milk Cadbury have started doing I've got a competition on 2 mystery chocolate flavours, and you can win a prize if you identify it. So on the way in on the Sunday, we'd called into a local shop and they had both flavours, and Emma bought a big bar of each. So we just put it out in the room and got people to say what they thought the flavours were. So that was a bit of fun. And of course there was lots of buying stuff, most of which is actually going to go over to family to give me back at Christmas. So that's the way that works. So the friendship gift exchange, my giftee was a lady called Julie, and everything I gave her was handmade. There was a glass bowl, which I do have a photo of because I took it ever before I bought it, to show somebody else, from where I work. And I keep looking at these bowls and thinking they'd make great art catchers. So when I decided to do the gift exchange, it seemed like a really good idea to get an art catcher. I also made the keyring as mentioned above, so I'll put a photo in. I made a needle minder, again I've got a photo. My mum made a scissor fob, which I haven't got a photo of, never mind. But I also put in some of my threads from Mo's sale. My very first purchase from Mo's sale was a couple of gift bags, and I ended up with 3 quite similar colourways with 4 of each thread in the cotton. So I put 1 of each plus a blue in with my gift exchange. So while they weren't handmade by me, they were hand dyed, so it counts. So everything in my gift was handmade, and I'm kind of proud of that, you know. So getting on to my giftee, my gifter, turned out to be Sam. And most unlike Sam, not, she went completely over the top. So first thing was, I mean, I'd seen the bag on the table with the card on top, and I thought, that looks like Anne Stokes. I love Anne Stokes. So this is what we started with. Jo Critchley brought the bag over and said, you were requested. I thought, uh-oh, what's gone on now? So this is the bag that everything came in. So I looked at that and thought, Snowdrop, when did you pose for that? Because that's just Snow's attitude. So obviously I went for the big box first. That was the card, so I was correct. Anne Stokes. That's the Woodland Guardian. So inside the big box was this little beauty from Nemesis now. It's part of the Age of Dragons collection, and it is by Anne Stokes, and it is a small forest dragon. Now those of you who get World of Cross Stitch might remember that some time ago there was an Anne Stokes dragon chart in the magazine. It's this dragon. Recognise that leafy tail. So yeah, so he's pride of place on the bookcase in the living room these days. There was a smaller box as well, which contained this. It's an Emma Bridgewater mug, personalised with my name, and Cardiff 2022. And it was at this point something made me just look at Sam, look at the face, and it was like, because these gifts were technically supposed to be anonymous, but you could tell people if you really wanted to. I just kind of looked at Sam and went, is this you? So yeah, it was Sam. So that's a really nice mug. She also made this little piece of hardanger, which if you know Sam, she hates hardanger. But she made this one for me. So it matches the mug nicely, so the mug sits on it on my bookcase. Now Sam did tell me there was one thing that she'd spotted, which was what made her ask Jo to be my gifter, and it was this. She'd bought the kit for herself. I believe it's one of the newer releases, so she'd bought it for herself and just thought I would love it. It just said to her, Jo. So yeah, so she asked if I could be her giftee, and we did both actually. She bought it for herself and had it with her, so on the Sunday afternoon, evening, while we were sat at the B&B, we both started it. Sam's done a bit more than me because I haven't actually touched it since. So I suppose technically it should be in widths, but I'll try and remember which way it is. Yeah, so self edge was at the top, so I got that far. Not a huge amount done, but that's not bad for one evening. There was also in the box, there was cross stitch project planner, which I have started to fill in but not got very far with. A couple of smaller things. So we've got a kitty cat keyring. Stop the glare. There was also a set of earrings, a pair of cats and a pair of bat studs, only little, black crystal, they're really sweet, and an amethyst carved into a paw print. I think that was everything. If not, sorry Sam, I will remember. So yeah, like I say, not like Sam to go over the top at all. Hey Luna, you're on camera, smile. Guess there's a bird outside. Right, so on to raffle prize. I actually won 2 prizes on the raffle. There were, I think, just about everybody won something. It got to the point where if somebody had won 2 and somebody on their table hadn't won anything, if they got a third, it went to the person who hadn't won anything. So this was the first thing I picked up. So it's a Silent Night, which is it's a slime kit, but you can turn it into a cushion. So at the moment it's a cushion. It does come with instructions on folding it to get it back into a cushion shape, and it's also got a pocket for your feet. It says one size fits all, but yeah, I'm 6 foot tall, so it might be well, actually maybe not. Snugsy 145 by 190 centimetres, so that to me would say more than 6 foot tall, and it's got a pocket for your feet. So we'll see with the way things are going with energy prices and stuff. This could get a lot of use this winter. So that was my first raffle prize. My second, I picked this really nice little box, although the box was open, so I couldn't see the lid at the time. And inside, among other things, was this little scissor pocket. I think the idea is that you attach it to your fabric with these magnets, and inside is a pair of stalk scissors, really pretty pale blue, and there were 2 scissor fobs attached. So kept one on those scissors, and I just switched one to the scissors that I'd already brought with me. There was also this little needle minder, which is so cute, and I started using it straight away. And some sweets, which my Sean finished. They were really nice, but Sean finished them. So that's the raffle prizes. Now to what I actually bought. So, as you may know, Polstitches do their own designs, cross stitch and red work. So I picked that one up. I just kept going back to it. I don't know what it was about it that I liked so much. I just kept going back to it. It's called Around the Garden Path. So no idea when I'll do that, but it just looks really nice. I also got some Joan Elliott smalls. So it's Christmas, but it's purples and turquoises and that, so my colours. A couple of Mirabilias, again, I just go for the colours. And a Bella Filipina. So I also got some fabrics. I thought that one would go really well with the Bella. It's not as bright as the one in the model, but I thought it would work. It's actually looking a bit browner there than it actually is. It's a bit more russet coloured, and that is called Chestnut. I also got 32 count Murano called Ghost. So it's like a pinky lilac. This is 28 count Majestic Skies, so blues and pinks. And finally, I got Sea Siren. Thought that would look fabulous with a mermaid. And I know I've got a couple of mermaids. I've got at least one Bella Filipina mermaid, if not 2. So mermaids will look good on that. Right, yeah, that's all my haul. Jodyri had a bit of a delay in getting their monthly clubs out this month, so I'm still waiting for those. I think there's a supply issue, but you know, she's given us plenty of warning, so it's not unexpected. And do you know what? Double dose in October. So let's talk plans. Not a lot of plans, just carry on stitching. So I told you I want to get with my dragons. But I've been contacted today by my lovely friend Amber, Road Mama Stitcher. If you haven't watched her channel yet, please do, because she's got some absolutely gorgeous stuff. Hello, Ruby. And in her latest video, she's showing her Polstitches haul, for which she blames me. She uses the word inspired, but I'm going with blames. So she's got some lovely fabrics and a couple of Joan Elliott charts, one of which was the Autumn Fairy. So she's contacted me today and said she plans to start it next month, and would I be interested in doing a stitch along with her, either on that design, sorry Luna, either on that design or another Joan Elliott design, knowing that I'm working on Fairy of the Rainbow still. So we're going to do that. It's going to be hashtag Joan Elliott Fairy Sal. So again, I'll pop that in the notes, but I'll put it on the screen as well. So if anybody wishes to join us on that one, you're more than welcome. So obviously it'll be on Facebook and Insta. So we'll see how that goes. That's really the only plans I have. But yeah, it's been a busy month. Along with the retreat, I've been working a few extra shifts to cover people's various people's vacations, holidays or whatever. So that sort of made up for missing the weekend I was away. Did a few swaps, and last week I was at my mum's cousin's funeral, which is what I needed to swap my days for. Trust Marcel. Always was contrary, but yeah, somehow I just knew her funeral was going to be on the one weekday that I regularly work. It's okay, we managed, we worked it out, so I was able to go. And then I worked yesterday. That's going to be a regular thing every other week. I'm going to be working on a Wednesday. So we went and did the week. We normally do the weekly shop on a Wednesday morning, but because I was in work, we waited and did it yesterday afternoon. And as we were leaving, my husband sort of went, "Oh, there's a cat in the car park." Oh gosh, bright sun. So I said, "Oh, that's Gimli." So I'll put a couple of photos up that we took, but Gimli is a little tabby cat that lives near Cheshire Oaks, and she's quite often seen at the shops. People send in photos of her quite regularly. Sorry, I'm going to try and get rid of that glare. Let's see how that works. So yeah, she's got her own Facebook page that her photos are put on. I did ask if it was okay to use the photos I've taken, because no, she's not my cat. Naturally, being a cat, she walked around me and went straight to my husband for fusses. So I didn't get a fuss, but I did get the photos. So yeah, I got to meet Gimli, our little local celebrity. I was amazed how tiny she was. She really is small. She's so sweet. So yeah, I can see why so many people like her turning up. I think that pretty much covers everything. So other than the, sorry, cleaning it right. So other than the Joan Elliott hashtag, I've not got any specific plans. I'm going to be using my tiny decision wheel to decide what I do next. Do a bit more on my witch cat, and take it from there. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Is that better? I'm a bit on an angle here. So yeah, that's better. So we'll call it a day there, I think. It's been about half an hour. About time to put pictures and stuff in. That's going to get a little bit longer. Cut out the waffle, might go a little bit shorter. So I shall say goodbye for now. It'll probably be the end of October before I do the next one. Sorry, Luna's still on my lap. Yeah, so end of October before I do the next one, probably. In the meantime, look after each other, be kind to each other, commit acts of random kindness and senseless beauty. Keep stitching. Bye.